Hi, I'm Drew, a drag queen living in LA with my husband Curtis, my dog JB, and a skincare routine that simply won't let me be dry.
It's a filter. And I'm Grant, and I'm pretty straight, I guess. I also live in Florida with my wife, 4 kids, and I used to be a pastor. The most interesting thing about me is what I used to be and not what I currently am, which is just
Correct.
severely depressed. And
Funny
this
to
week's
me.
episode, I had a great episode planned, and I asked a simple question.
You know what happens when you make a plan? God laughs.
God laughs, and the devil dances. I know that's not a saying, but I'm trying to get that off the ground.
I think it works.
We do share. We basically spend the whole episode talking about an incident that happened when we were kids that we both shared as something funny. And my therapist last week said, that's not funny. That's traumatic. And Drew and I talk about the dynamics behind that.
And it gets really sad, but we end on a positive note, or at least we try. If you're not having a good day, don't listen to this. We love you.
We'll play it in the background, mute it. We do need the listens, so just mute it.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind just like muting it
Just
or
hit
playing
play.
it for like a
Like
happy
and
friend
subscribe.
that you want to take down a notch.
Oh, yeah, do that. Send it to your happy friend.
Hi, I'm Drew. I'm gay.
Sorry about that, brother. I'm Grant,
Me
and
too.
I'm not #winning, hashtag. Also hashtag happy birthday, Paula. Happy birthday, Paula.
At time of filming, it's Paula's birthday. She is the one who makes all of our reels and TikToks. She's really good at the IMHO ones. I think she's still learning what twins like, but she's getting there, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate that.
Also, I don't think that, in IMHO, you've got Alexis, who's a walking reel machine. Everything out of her
she's a
mouth is
disaster.
clippable.
I know.
And just not. I'm sorry. I'm working on it.
Which is fun to watch. It's not fun to live next to.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you this, but when in Orlando in the meet and greet line, someone asked me after they met you and Alexis, they said, is Alexis like this all the time? Is that real? And I said, yes. Yeah, she's a space cadet of the highest order, and it's wonderful. I mean, I don't live next to her, so.
We had a really important business meeting today, and
with Mark Cuban, right? You were doing something with Shark
Mark
Tank?
Cuban. Yeah, he said yes. He said, I'm Shark. I say, and I've never seen Shark Tank.
And then he turned his chair around or something. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
He remodeled the
no,
house.
but we're in this meeting and we're talking like through business, and it's like it was a very big deal, and we were both so excited. And Alexis has a tendency to get lost in the weeds. She gets stuck in the weeds, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking big picture ideas. It's the first time we're meeting with this group of people. So we're just trying to like give them an idea of what we are, all that. And Alexis would just she would just suddenly like perk up and go, hey, can I talk about something personal? And I'd be like, that's, it's not all
on
we
the
were
agenda.
talking about.
Not on the agenda, but
We're actually in the middle of talking about something, but go for it. And then she'd start to talk, and then she'd lose her way, and she'd go, never mind, go back to what you're talking about. That's Alexis Bevels.
That's the magic. That's why they.
No, it truly.
That's
it
why
truly
they signed
is.
you.
Yeah.
The P
we
stands
went
for
to-
magic, spelled with P. That's how special
Her
she is.
birthday is this Friday, and so
okay.
we went to the Ren Fair, the giant Ren pleasure fair, for her birthday.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, y'all, go to a Ren Fair. It was awesome.
Get out there.
I think
out there.
I enjoyed it because it was an overcast day. It was like 65 degrees. You'd have periods of sun, but for the most part, you were just kind of vibing. And it is one of like the largest Ren fairs. So like if you go to a tiny one, I don't know if you'll like it. Okay. But I went to a large one. So I got to see basically the same products over and over, like a wand, a leather vest, a pirate top over and over and over. And that was exciting because I was like, I wonder if it's different. It was never different, but just that there were so many. was exciting.
What was there to eat? Turkey legs? I'm assuming a lot of turkey legs, chicken legs.
Curtis tried to get a turkey leg, but they were so popular that they were like, sorry, we just put a fresh batch in. I don't know how they make legs.
Yeah, turkey legs are in batches. Yeah, all legs are in batches.
No, let me tell you this.
Serial killers.
What I did what I did have, okay, I had these cakes, and they were called,
Ooh,
I don't know. But it's like a mix of like a pancake, a cookie, and something else that's incredible. And
wait, was everyone speaking with a fake British accent?
What?
Was everyone speaking with a fake British accent? Is that a thing they do? I imagine that's a thing they do. Is that not a thing they do?
Not a fake British accent, but they do talk in like, what will you have, my lady? Ah, a very handsome gent approaches. You know, that kind of thing.
So there's a pancake and a cookie
and
put together by sorcery. Alchemy.
I was not looking forward to going. Not because I don't want to go to a Ren Fair. I've always wanted to go to a Ren Fair.
Sure. I do too.
I just was like,
I really do.
We had just gotten back from tour and I'm tired, whatever. And I was like, oh God, it's going to be a full day. But like, it's for Alexis. And her positive attitude is infectious when it's like that strong. And that day she was on one. So like I was feeling it. And we get there and I had the best time. There's something so magical about being around a group of people who are in their element.
Absolutely.
Because they're just
it's infectious.
So connected. It's so good.
It's infectious.
I had a blast. I mean, I didn't know what to wear because I'd never been to one. So I wore like Renaissance fair-esque clothing. But I'm going back as almost a turtle.
Huh.
I'm going back as a turtle. No, I'm not changing my mind.
Yeah.
No, I want to go as Shrek dressed as a mushroom. That's what I want to do next time.
Were there people?
I saw a bunch of Shreks and a bunch of mushrooms.
That's what I was going to say. Was there funny? Were there a lot of funny costumes?
There were. There were really funny costumes. Anyway, what was I? How did I start on this? Alexis. It was her birthday. We went for Alexis.
Ren Fair for her birthday.
Oh, but I saw Curtis and I took a picture, and then
with James
in front
Marston.
of the dam.
He's everywhere.
I wouldn't have been surprised, honestly. But no, as we were walking away from the photo spot, Hannah Einbinder from Hacks was walking up to take her photo. Isn't that fun?
That's cool. Yeah.
I said, hey, you hack.
True here.
Also, I just want to say
True there.
To everyone who stopped us to take a picture with us or just to compliment us. I didn't know that IMHO and Twinnuendo listeners are Ren Fair people, but they are. And
were there Twinnuendo people there?
Us. Grant, I said that because I
knew
I want you to feel hope.
God damn it.
Yeah, probably. Come on, nerds.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, but people kept stopping us, and every single person that stopped us had kind of like watched us for a little bit. And we were like, who's that? And then they like kind of sneak up and then they're suddenly there and they're apologizing.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to know, every single time you stopped us, Alexis and I were boned up. We were so thrilled. We were thrilled.
You couldn't see it through the corsets, but they were fucking...
Right. Yeah. Corsets do go over your wiener if you do it right.
Well,
and
you buy them too big.
I just want anyone listening, never apologize for stopping to tell me that you like my show. That's insane. I wear it as a badge of honor. I talked about you all day. So never apologize. But it was so exciting, I must say. And I saw a guy there who I've never met in real life, but I follow him on Twitter because he goons. He was there in a cape. Isn't that crazy?
Okay. You follow him on Twitter because he goons.
Not because he goons. I follow him on Twitter because he's naked, and I like that, and I like the way he looks. But he's a gooner. That's like his whole thing. And I have to be so for real with you. That missed me. Gooning came after my sexual times.
Is correct me if I'm wrong. Gooning is
I don't know.
You are just watching. You're like it's like a constant stream of porn and like explicit material. You're just like more.
I think the idea is that you like edge yourself for so long, you go insane, and like by the end, you're like,
and the cum comes out in different places every time.
Yeah,
Did
you
I
never know
goon
what
hard
hole it's
enough
going to come out of.
for an ear come today? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I better get my
Yeah.
AirPods out because I just got these.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin them with cum.
No,
Been
no,
there
no,
too
no,
many times.
It's not under
Yeah,
warranty.
I don't understand gooning. I'm happy that you're doing it. So proud of you. I've got so much on my plate. I can't take that on at the moment. But to all my gooners, I want to say thank you.
Thank you, gooners. Thank you for being $10 a month donors. Also, it reminds me, happy birthday, Paula. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Paula.
Our favorite gooner that we know, Paula.
Are we allowed to talk about that? Yeah, why
Paula.
not? So she goons to this show.
Oh my God, she goons. She really does.
Loves
Constant
when we talk
gooning.
about trauma or
Paula.
no, she really only
Paula.
likes the trauma. So
Speaking of trauma, let's do it for her birthday. And Drew, I made this note, and I thought there's a chance Drew's going to say, I don't want to talk about this. So you absolutely can shut me down, and we can keep this train rolling.
okay.
But it's something I talked about in therapy. So
no.
my therapist was like, we need to get into your childhood. Like after I did the intake and like our first session together, and she was asking what my goals were, one of my goals was like, I've never kind of unpacked my childhood. Drew and I will tell stories, and there's sometimes where he'll tell me a memory and I'm like, I don't know what that is. He'll talk about it, and then my brain will be like, I've been protecting you from that. Do more gooning. So
Yeah, goon.
she was like, I'm so glad you said that, because that's the first thing I wanted to tell you is like, I think we need to learn more about your communication patterns and your coping mechanisms and things that you learned in your childhood. So like we really need to like dive into
You want
all
me
of
to
that.
tell you what your communication patterns are?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
have some
I
notes. Well,
really-
listen, I've
No,
been
okay.
writing down my ideas about
Yeah,
your
throw 'em away.
communication patterns
Throw 'em
for a
away.
while.
Throw them
Okay.
away. Hey, throw them
They're
away
on
though.
my phone, so
Throw them away. Throw it away. So the thing that came up this week was I said, for a long time, I've been telling funny anecdotes from my childhood that now I'm realizing are traumatic moments and traumatic memories that my brain has translated into that's showbiz, baby.
Translate.
And so she was telling me that that's, you probably know this term, cognitive reframing or reappraisal. You obviously you constantly cope with humor, and she said that's why you have the hit show Twinnuendo that everyone's talking about.
They
And I
can't
said, thank
stop
you,
talking
thank you,
about
thank
it.
you,
It's
thank you,
crazy.
thank you. So that's what you've done, is you've taken these traumatic memories, you've kind of made them funny in your head, and you've reframed them in a way that you don't have to deal with the hurt feelings behind it. Instead, you can be like, make them laugh, make them laugh. And there was a story in particular that came up, and it's about you. And I don't
in
know.
therapy.
Because it's one of the stories
good.
that I've told as an anecdote, and upon becoming an adult, I'm like, oh my God. Like, I remember now how scared I was, embarrassed I was. Like, it was just, and confused and whatever.
Wait,
Anyway,
the thing you want to talk about is something I did in childhood?
it's not you. You're involved. It's all about you, but you didn't do anything wrong. You were a child. It's about Dad. So
Oh, I'm
So-
very familiar with his work.
I don't know if I'm remembering it correctly or not. Because again, I've been telling the story as like kids, but it was. As soon as I say this, you're going to be like, I know what you're talking about. It was when we were teenagers. It was our Disney trip. Do you know what? You know what story I'm thinking of immediately?
Yeah.
What is it? What
the
is
pool?
it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the pool.
We were in 6th grade.
6th grade. Okay. I only was able to like do like broad strokes, and then I told her, I was like, I want to talk to my brother. I want him to tell. Are you okay to talk about this, or is this?
Yeah, I feel the exact same way as you. I tell the story as like funny, ha 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 ha. But I only do that because as much therapy as I've had over the years, really diving deep into our childhood, I've rarely like unpacked those kinds of things. It's only been recently that I too have realized like, oh wait, all the like funny anecdotes from my childhood were like bad.
Yeah.
I actually, sorry to brag, I had a really bad week, and just mentally. Like, actually, my life is going really well because my brain doesn't work.
Good. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Anyway, I saw the cat behind your shoulder, but I saw my face for a second. I thought it was behind my shoulder, and I don't have a cat. That freaked me out. Okay.
I don't have a cat either. What are you talking about? What's going on?
Oh, fuck.
What are we doing? That's the rule. Go ahead.
So I had a bad mental health week, and someone who doesn't like to be named was like, hey, instead of like your to-do list of all the like work things that would be helpful if you got it done earlier than later, why don't you just find a therapist? Why don't you just make that your thing?
That's a great idea.
All right. So I made appointments with 3 different therapists for 3 different consultations, and I had the first one today. And she was just asking, you know, kind of generally what you want to talk about, or whatever. And I was
Turns out she was a
one
fan.
of the things,
So you had to find
yeah, she was a
somebody
huge
else.
fan. No, but one of the things I said was like, my brother was a pastor, and we started this podcast where we're like kind of unpacking our childhood together. But as we're doing it, we're realizing we've never unpacked it on our own or with a therapist. And like, I would love to, I mean, not love to, but I think I need to unpack my childhood with a therapist more completely, you know. But I don't know if she's going to work out. I am going to see her again because I liked how charismatic and like kind she was. But she did say, "What did you not like about your old therapist, your most recent therapist?" And I said, "Well, first of all, I could only see her head, so her camera was pointed far too much at the ceiling, and secondly, like I use humor a lot."
But
to,
at
like,
least you didn't see her feet behind her head doing tummy time.
I don't know if she
That would
has
be-
feet, Grant.
Oh, okay.
And I'm supposed to take
Okay.
advice from her? Grow up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. I agree. The
I told her
disabled
that-
are not helpful to our community. Is that what you're trying to say? You're taking a shot at the disabled people? You're being ableist? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, but can I tell you, Alexis made an ableist joke that was horrible, and she didn't realize it was as bad as she thought it was. And I clipped it, and I kept it. I've got a file. If she ever hurts me in any way, I'm taking her down.
Oh my
It'll be funny. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway,
Yeah.
and I said I deal with a lot of this with humor, especially if I don't know you very well. I'm just gonna like make jokes.
Sure. Yeah.
And I was like, so it is important that like you can at least kind of like chuckle along with me, you know, like at least acknowledge
Yeah.
it. And she goes, I hear you. Go on. And I was like, okay, well, all
So
right.
she's AI. You're talking to AI. You got an AI therapist.
I can't tell if anything's AI unless I see their fingers.
Did you watch John Oliver this week?
I did. Can I tell you? Well, I'll tell you off camera. I had a really weird thing happen while we were watching it. I'll tell you off camera.
With your fingers? Sorry, you were saying, so you're not sure if she's even real at this point. I hear you.
Yeah, I guess I'm not. Anyway,
Okay.
but yeah, all to say, I've thought the exact same thing. Like, and that story in particular was one of my favorite stories to tell people about. Like, wasn't I a cad?
Okay, can you tell it quickly? Because I was going to struggle through my recollection, but there's no point. There's no time. So can you just run through it? What happened?
Yeah, I don't have like clear memories of the lead up to it. We were at Disney World. We were at this hotel, not Disney World hotel. We were at a motel, and all the
Who took you to your
rooms-
first Disney hotel ever? Who took you to your first Disney resort?
Oh, a guy who was married.
Yeah, I still am.
Oh, yeah, you did. I definitely didn't hook up with a married guy at Disney World.
Shut the fuck up. Did you?
No, I'm just kidding. No,
Ugh,
you did.
That was going to completely sully that memory.
Sully, Disney. The hotel wrapped around. It was like a motel. And
Yeah,
the
like a
backs
motor
of the
lodge.
Rooms all,
Yeah.
they all had like balconies that wrapped around the pool. So everyone's windows were pointed at the pool.
Yeah.
And y'all have been to those types of hotels. When children are in that pool, it's all you hear. It's all you hear. We were those children. So we were
Yeah.
like, what, 12 in
Yeah.
6th grade? And listen, I know that like they say that 3 kids is like the worst number to have. Like 3
Do they?
is like the devil's. Yeah, that 3
Four's
is like
pretty bad. Four's pretty bad.
but it's still there's some like 3 is like that's Satan's thing. Like he's like this amount of children will hurt you. you know? So I know we were hurting him the whole time.
Okay.
But
I'm feeling pretty beat up right now. So
we were in the pool and you and I started to fight. And I can't remember about
Right.
what, but
Mm-hmm.
my memory is that you did something shitty to
Probably.
me.
Sure.
And I felt like the victim. Like I felt like I didn't deserve to get in trouble. And so mom got mad, or mom and dad both got mad because it was busy. It was packed with people. There were people
Packed.
on the balconies like watching.
When it was like
So,
end of day, like everyone had come
yeah.
back from the parks, and now everyone
And it was the summer, so you know it's like packed.
Packed.
So they told us to get out of the pool because we were fighting. And I was so upset because I didn't do anything this time. And I did a lot of stuff, but in my mind I hadn't done anything. And I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I believed. And so Grant, he saw how upset Dad was getting about us not getting out. And he saw that I was not going anywhere. And so Grant got out of the pool and I just went to the middle. I went to the middle of the pool and stood there. And Dad,
now, were
fully
Mom
dressed,
and Dad there at the pool?
Mom was, in my memory, Mom was sitting in a chair. Dad came upon the scene, or like
My
was on the
memory was
balcony
Dad
and heard us.
Yes, my memory was Dad was on the balcony.
Yeah.
Mom was like trying to get us out, but she was being
Yeah.
like, get out, get out. You know, like
Yeah.
she didn't want to cause a scene. And Dad heard us from the balcony and yelled
He
from
loved
the
causing a
balcony,
scene. Mm-hmm.
like, boys, get out. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. So then Dad marched down and inserted himself fully clothed, not dressed for pool time.
Well, he chased me around the pool. Like he walked around the pool first, and like all of the kids in the pool like scattered, and so it's basically a packed hotel watching this happen. Whenever I felt embarrassed as a kid, it made me want to like fight more, because I'm like, now you're embarrassing me. Fuck you! I didn't do anything. You know?
Can I tell you real quick, as I thought about this, that I was thinking about it from a parent's perspective. And honestly, one of the things I've tried to break from, you know, what we inherited is like when my kids are dysregulated, that I immediately try to de-escalate. Like I immediately go, I need to stay regulated. Whatever I've got to do, because I'm not going to help. And when I think about the situation and I'm like, what if this happened? Because I have Piper. So
oh yeah, and Jude.
Piper,
don't say that. Jude he's a little shit.
He's a little shit, but Jude, the minute I tell Jude, like, get over here, he's like, yep. I mean, he's going to complain the whole time. But
Piper's terrifying. She called me ugly while I was doing my makeup last week, and like I can't stop thinking about it.
Piper would just be like, fuck off. Like, she'll just sit there and look at you like you're a fucking idiot. She won't say a word, but I wish you would just tell me to fuck off. That would make me feel better than what she does to me by staring at me. But I started to think like, okay, I got out of the pool. The fighting's over. Like, Drew's not going to sleep in the pool. He's not going to eat in the pool. Like, he's going to
I also didn't like doing stuff by myself, so I would have gotten out 5 minutes later.
He's going to get out. So you've already, the fighting's over. There's no more yelling, there's no more screaming. Leave him in there. He'll come out eventually, and then deal with it privately. Ask him, what happened? What are you feeling? Because Dad came in with no information. What Dad came in knowing was that we embarrassed him. And he's not going to lose to a 12-year-old. So he's going to lower himself as a 52-year-old to the level of a 12-year-old
who had already raised 2 boys.
You should know this by now.
He's already been through this.
You should know this by now.
He's already done it.
Yeah, exactly.
And as a result of them being raised that way, one of them hasn't talked to him in 30 years. So you would think he'd be like, oh, fuck. Yeah, it was me. But no.
Ugh.
I remember him pacing back and forth at the bend of the little kidney bean shaped pool, and I'm in the middle, just standing. And eventually he just gets sick of it, and he jumps in, kind of walks into the pool, shoes and socks, everything, white shorts, which I thought was wild, a wild choice for a pool. And he physically
Well, he had
dragged
that
me out of the
giant
pool.
dong. Okay, he physically dragged you out of the pool.
You know he has a micro penis, right? Oh, I've said that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. He dragged you out of the pool. My memory, and I could be projecting this because this happened to me so many times and to you so many times that I'm just saying, well, it must have happened here. When Dad was embarrassed in public and he was trying to pull us out of a place, he didn't just pull, he twisted. Like he wanted to hurt you. He wanted you to feel how mad
And he always
was.
did. There was always you could see where his hand was on your arm because of the bruise. Yeah.
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 So yeah, that was
I
my
don't
memory, was that
anything...
he wrenched your arm as
Yeah.
he yanked you out of that pool.
Oh, yeah.
And
I remember
God.
screaming at the top of my lungs. And I think I even screamed like help or something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't remember what happened after. Like, that's where my memory stops. I'm sure, you know, he's spanked the shit out of me. And
I remember him saying that as he was yelling at you to get out, that he was going to spank you, that he was like gonna like spank the whatever he would say. It was some.
Yeah.
It wasn't I'm gonna hit you, but it was. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. But I remember him
But when he was
threatening
really
you
upset,
from
especially
outside.
especially in public, it really wasn't a spank. Let's be honest. But
Yeah.
but I've never. This is probably the first time I've ever really talked about it as anything other than funny.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't even remember until we started talking about it, him dragging me out and hurting me. That I just blocked that out. Like, I completely forgot. What a bummer.
As I told her the story last week, it was also the first time that I had told that story as not an anecdote, as like a funny haha. It was the first time I went, I think this was fucked up, and my brain remembers it as funny. So let me walk you through what I remember, and you tell me if this is funny. And that was the first time that I got into detail about Dad. When he would grab us when he was embarrassed in public, he would like wrench our arms, like he would hurt us and like leave a mark on our arm. Like it was fucked up.
It was
like
bad.
he wanted he wanted to hurt us. There's no other way to put it. I remember him doing that to you. I remember him climbing out of the pool but not letting go of you. I remember him like just launching you out of the pool by your arm. I was terrified. Terrified. Because Dad, I mean, anybody who's been with someone who's that volatile, no one's safe. Like, no one around them is safe. And so it was like, okay, I obeyed, but is Dad going to be so pissed that spanking Drew isn't going to be enough? And he's going to be like, what were you doing? You know?
Right.
And then it's going to be my turn. It was the first time that I told that story as something other than funny. And she gave me that language of, this is like a reframing. This is just a cognitive reframing you've done. And it was the first time I kind of like really looked at those feelings and looked at, and Drew, you mentioned something about therapy that I've always thought is silly until now. You talked about being nice to the kid, the 12-year-old Drew. And I've always thought that was like therapy gobbledygook. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, okay, buddy.
I used to think the same thing. Yeah.
And after that conversation, I was like, oh my God, like 12-year-old Grant, like that was horrible. Like, you were terrified of your own father and you didn't have anywhere to go to be safe.
Right.
God damn, that's terrible.
And
I don't know.
We didn't know. We didn't know that it wasn't normal. Like, I think the reason
Spare
I
the
told
rod,
that
spoil
story,
the child, brother.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
in the church, we're raised, you know, we're brought up to believe that like the sin is within us, and we're separating ourselves from God, and we're the evil, and like we're bad. And then
even the straights,
mom and dad,
even the straight kids are bad.
And then
which
mom
don't
and
make any
dad,
sense.
even though they're from different generations, Dad is from the silent generation, although he's been very loud. Their approach to child rearing was also like, you're a bad kid. You're bad. You know, not you're dysregulated, or let's talk about why that happened. Like, how can we help? It was always, you're bad. You're bad. You're bad. You're bad. That alone is abuse that I wouldn't wish on anyone, on any child. I can't imagine telling a child who's having a breakdown that I don't understand that, like, they're bad. What they're doing is bad, and, like, you need to fix it. You need to stop crying and get your shit together. What we went through sucked. And the thing about all of it that maybe some people listening can identify with is just, when I first talked to mom and dad, or tried to talk to mom and dad about my sexual abuse, which went great. I remember saying, like, I'm not mad at you for not doing more, even though I think you should have. Sure. I just want to acknowledge that it happened, and I want to take the ownership of what happened to me off of my shoulders. I was a child, I was a child. A really terrible thing happened to me, and my parents' response was to just ignore it. And I just don't want to carry that anymore. I don't want to punish you, but I just don't want to carry it anymore. And that's when Dad crossed his arms and said, well, I didn't do it. It was your fault. And I was like, cool. I had been conditioned my entire life at that point to believe it was my fault. It took 2 years of therapy to, like, the first time I brought it up to this therapist, and he's like, that wasn't your fault. You were a child. And it took 2 years of talking about it for me to finally, like, come to terms with that. And that's why I made that special trip home, because I'd worked in therapy for 2 years to, like, figure out, how to take that onus off of me and how to honestly forgive myself and my parents for everything that happened. And they just refused. When we're unpacking these things to recover from them, if mom and dad, I know he'll never do anything good, but if mom and dad would just be like, oh, fuck, I'm so sorry. Like, you know what I mean? I get so frustrated because it's always that, well, what do you want me to do? I'm sorry. Well, it's over. I can't change anything. What do you want me to do? I just want you to say.
That's Dad, by the way. That's
sorry, by the way.
Drew's doing a great Nick right there. What do you want me to do?
What do you want me to do? It's always that. And I'm just like, I just want you to say, like, I'm sorry that happened. Fuck. Did I really do that? I'm so sorry. That would never happen again. I love you. I love you so much. I'm so sorry. But instead, I met with crossed arms, mom crying silently, not saying a word.
Obviously, I did not suffer the way you suffered, and I wasn't victimized.
You suffered, though. I mean, we grew up in a hell house.
Okay, but on the spectrum of all of that, I didn't go through what you went through. The crazy thing is, and I don't know how you feel, but like, I mean, I guess you just said it. I'm not mad either. Like, it happened. It's over. It happened. Like, my arms are healed. Like, it's fine. It's over. I'm not passing those things on to my kids. There was a moment with Max. He was probably 4 where I was angry. Oh, I remember you telling me this. I reached for him. He was like in his bed, and I reached for him because we had told him to do something, and he was just being really defiant. And I reached out, and he recoiled, and he looked terrified. And I wept. I sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. And I vowed, like, from that day forward, I will never put my hands on my kids in anger ever again. And I wasn't hitting them. You know what I mean? Like, but I said, I'll never, when I'm angry, I'll never, like, the only touch they'll know from me is loving.
Sexual.
They'll never, well, okay. All right. Well, but that'll never happen again. So, like, the pattern of that stopped, and like, one of the things I want to say was, like, there's another memory that is really important to me, and it was with Max. There was all kids at some point, my experience has been, all of my kids at some point, they go through a period of pushing boundaries, and it's like, it's almost uncontrollable. Like, once they start, because they'll keep pushing boundaries, some of them make sense, some of them are just dumb as shit, and you're like, why the fuck did you do that? And they're like, I don't know. And they don't know. And there was a time where I was getting on to Max for something. He was in this period of time. And we fought constantly because I'm just like him. He's just like me. And so we were just button heads. And so he had done something else. And I said, Max, why did you do this? And he looked at me and he said, because I'm just no good. I guess I'm just no good. And he was probably, God, he's probably 8 or 9. Ooh. And I said, I just stopped and like, I just looked at him and I said, don't ever say that about yourself again. You are good. You made a mistake. We all fucking do. We're complicated. And I said, but you are good. You're kind and you're smart and you're caring and you're loving and you're sweet. Like, you're good. You don't always do good things because we don't always do good things. We're all complicated. But you are not bad. And if anyone ever tries to tell you you're bad, get the fuck away from them. And if you tell yourself you're bad, then you come talk to me and let me tell you you're good again. Like, that's not, you're not that. And like, Christianity doesn't set you up to parent like that, because you have to acknowledge that you're all sinful. From like Dr. Rogers used to always say, our megachurch pastor who didn't earn a doctorate but was given one by a Bible college, who
died a millionaire.
And so we all called him doctor for some reason. But Dr. Rogers always used to make this joke, and people would love it. And he would go, oh, you don't believe in original sin? Well, and by the way, I'm doing a terrible doctor. He talks, he had a wonderful voice.
Very low. And
he had a wonderful voice. Joyce, my favorite singer. Here comes Joyce.
She was a terrible singer.
I'll see you at the Eastern Gate. Anyway, she's going to live forever. So he always made this joke. You don't believe that we're all born with like a sinful nature? Well, take 2 toddlers and put 1 toy in between them, and I'll let you see a sinful nature. Okay, first off, fucker. Yeah. They don't know what they're doing. So how's that sin? Like, how's that like some broken, twisted up nature? Shut the fuck up. Because you also had the idea of the age of accountability. Like if a kid dies, they're automatically going to heaven because they can't be held accountable.
Yes.
So they don't know what they're doing. So their sin doesn't count. But it would
change. It would change.
At some point, God would be like, time to burn.
If a 5-year-old takes candy, from a store,
which by the way,
like, original sin, hell.
That's exactly why we Christians should be. I said we. Oh no, Christians should be the most like pro-abortion people in the world, because they're all going to heaven. Yeah. All those babies,
heaven.
They're like, this is the fucking best. And then you're going to get to heaven, and they're going to be like, why were you, that sounds terrible. Thank you for killing me.
Yeah.
Thank you. By the way, I don't think abortion is killing a baby. I do want to make that clear. It's sending them to heaven. That's what I was saying. But
it's sending them to heaven. It's a good thing.
But it doesn't set them up to parent that way, because you have to acknowledge that sinfulness in them. You have to the spiritual, you have to shepherd that your children, and you have to like deal with that sinful side of them, because they are broken deep down. And I've told all of my kids that in some way, that there is nothing broken in you. You're complicated. We're all complicated. And that complexity makes you beautiful. You are a fucking walking work of art. And if there's any fucking church, organization, club, person, and even if it's you, telling you that there's something wrong with you at your core, it's a lie. It's a lie. And you need to ask, why are they lying to me? Why are they telling me this? Because I know why the church is telling you this, because they want you to come to them and pay them to fix you. I know why someone you'd be in a relationship would tell you that, because they don't want you to leave. They want to manipulate you. I know why you would tell yourself that, because you have this undealt with trauma, and you have this negative self-talk that you need an outside voice to help you deal with and face for the first time. But you need to ask, when you hear that, don't believe it. That's bullshit. You need to ask yourself, why are they lying to me? Or why am I lying to myself? If that's not true, where's the why? Why is the lie there? But those were things that were like monumental moments in breaking what we went through with our parents. And the thing I would say to mom and dad now is like, I wish I could call mom and dad and tell them what I just told you about the pool. And I would want them to say, I would want to tell them, I'm not shaming you. I'm not mad, and I'm not shaming you. Like, I fully expect my kids to come to me one day as adults and go, hey,
that was fucked up.
This thing you said or did or didn't do, that was fucked up, and it really fucked with me. I'm so fucking sorry. Like I fully expect that to happen one day. So like, I'm not shaming you. I'm not better than you.
Well, they're refusing
Just
to
acknowledge
accept. They're refusing to accept the impact. They will only take accountability for the intent, and the intent is worthless if you're not acknowledging the impact that your action had. And I think that's something all Christians do to some degree. Well, yeah, me telling that person they're going to hell is loving. My intention is to get them to heaven. The impact may have like ruined their day, but like that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is the intent. And that's just simply not true.
Well, if you have a belief
kill
system
someone
that
with your
says,
car, oh, go ahead.
well,
That says
the
you can kill
Christian
people with
believes
cars?
that, but that God works all things together for good, for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. So as long as my intention is good, I can trust that God will make it work out. So me holding up...
You only have to be accountable to God, not to the human beings around you.
Nobody can judge me. Only God can judge me. So me standing on the side of the street with a mangled fetus on a poster board...
Picture, not an actual fetus on a poster board. Jesus, Grant. God.
Well, you didn't come to the most recent ones. Let's just be clear. You weren't at the most recent rallies.
You had to up the stakes.
We had to up the stakes. We're saving goddamn lives. Or
Babies.
God-forgiven lives, actually. They're all in heaven.
Truly.
But me holding up a poster board with that picture on it, is it careful? Is it considerate? No. Is it going to hurt and offend a lot of people? Probably. But I'm not going to think about that because my intention is to save baby lives. God will handle the results. And it's just the most reckless fucking way to live.
It's
God
it's
damn
not
it.
Yes, of course it's reckless, but it's the most unkind, unloving way you can treat your neighbor. You know, I've recently
Started to read the Bible.
in that I got a new Bible and I love it. Love all the words.
Trump.
No, in the therapy consult today, she asked me what my goal is. Like, what am I working toward? What's if I had like my perfect life, what would that look like? You know? And I said, if it were a few years ago, that is a cat, Grant. I see it. That's a cat. If you're listening to this, speed up and know that that's a cat.
I do not know what you're
anyway,
talking about. So
like before, I would say money and big house and success. See, that's a cat.
It's I have a Coke can in my hand. I don't know what you're talking about.
But as I get older, and especially as I've had these like really like these last couple years have just been a really big struggle for me mentally.
Oh, they've been tough. You've had a couple of hard years.
Yeah, just two. Everything else was great. No, but I I've had a tough time, and I realized just how unimportant everything else is, and that my goal in life, my goal for being alive, to make people's lives around me better, period. Living the way I did, like in constant fear, created a very inward view of myself, and I was very selfish, which I used to think was like, well, that's just showing your true character. You're a piece of shit. You're awful. You were selfish because you're a piece of shit. You're evil. No, I was selfish because I was always terrified I was going to die. You know, like I was terrified of everyone and everything. And so it was just safer for me to only think about me and just get me from point A to point B. To have your parent refuse to acknowledge that, to say that your reality isn't real, that's the unloving thing that like I can't forgive if it continues to happen. You know what I mean? Like that's why I finally cut off mom for good. Like we're done. We're out. Enjoy life. Because no matter how many times I brought it to her on like a pedestal with rose petals around it, and with a bunch of apologies from me, by the way.
Maybe he came on too strong.
She refused to acknowledge any of it happened, or that it was her fault that it happened. And moving forward, instead of saying like, I'm sorry you went through that, I'm sorry I played a role in that, how can I support you now? Instead, it's, well, I didn't do it. Well, Drew, I don't know. Well, I don't know. That's always her response to everything. And I remember the most recent time I talked to her and explained to her again why I think she needs to be in therapy. Her response was, well, I'm having a knee replacement. I can't do that right now. And it's like, oh, yeah, you don't love me. You care for me. You treat me like a work acquaintance. When I try to like just say like, "Hey mom, I've been in therapy for over 20 years because of my childhood, and I'm not blaming you for it, but like, can I get some support now? Can you just do anything?" The answer is always, "Well, I don't know what you want me to do." Well, I don't know. I don't know, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, that's not
It's
love.
it's almost
That's
like
not love.
one of the things you said about her, like her going to see a therapist, like that's your I don't know, requirement's not the right word, that feels weird, but that's your
it's the
standard
I've
for.
simpled down. The standard has been lowered. Therapy
Mhm.
is that bar's on the ground.
Well,
You know,
one of
like
the
that's my
yeah.
final. Like, can you at least do that? You
Well,
know,
one
like,
of the
and she's
reasons you
like, no.
gave, which I thought was really great, was and I thought the way you communicated it. What the fuck? Communicated it. Am I high?
I
Was
don't know.
really thoughtful because you put it on you. You said, I've gone to therapy and I have this language and kind of this framework to have these conversations that you don't have, but you can get them. Like, you don't have them because, no one does. You have to learn those things. So, it's not fair for me to have these conversations with you without you having the same tools that I have, which I thought was a really kind and clever way to spin that.
Because she just kept saying she wanted a relationship. She just,
Mhm.
every time I would come back to her, I would cut her off. I would come back just because I missed her. And I had convinced myself that I was like bad. I had done something wrong and maybe I overreacted. And then it was always met with, "I just want a relationship. I just want to talk to you again. Why can't we talk on the phone?" I'm like, "Because you don't have the tools. Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to say the same stuff. You're going to say the same thing of, well, I don't know, and I'm going to get hurt again, and then nothing, you know?" So, yes, part of
Well,
it is kind of a clever way of like taking on the like responsibility of like, well, I have the language and you don't. But honestly, like, it's the only thing I can think of that could change the outcome of those conversations, you know?
it's almost like she doesn't have the tools to get the tools. And I'm not making an excuse, right? It's
No, no,
easy.
no.
Like, you can do it. I mean, I think I'm a great example of over 2 years ago, coming up on 3 years. I was fired 3 years next month. And
Nice.
I thank you. And going through that really traumatic event, clearly traumatic. And I went to a counselor for 6 weeks and then was like, time to move on with my life. And it has been horrible. It's been really hard.
Yeah.
Like my most recent therapist diagnosed me with severe depression and a generalized anxiety disorder. But that's showbiz, baby.
Yeah.
But I knew that. And I knew I needed help. And I knew I needed a therapist. You've told me multiple times that I needed that. My wife's told me multiple times. Like, people told me multiple times. One day, finally, there's a conversation between us, and it clicked. And I feel like I didn't realize how much I needed it and how good it was for me until I got in it. And it's almost like, I feel like sometimes talking to mom about getting in therapy is like telling her about, like, I just got back from Narnia, and I'm like, you can go too. And I'm like, it's great. What's it like? You got Mr. Tumnus is pretty cool. His dick's out. Like, it's hard to, I don't know. It's almost like she's not sold on it.
And I understand that. And
And I'm not making an excuse.
No, I understand.
There's no
And
excuse.
I've had the same thought. The issue, the thing that I find so hurtful and so unloving is she and I were close. Like, there was a period of time as an adult where like she and I would talk multiple times a day. Like, I was the one that was closest to mom. Growing up, she would always say, "Oh, I would die for you. I would crawl to the end of the earth for you. I would do anything for you." And then I cut her off because she just keeps hurting me over and over. And that's where it's like, I can't take onus. I'll do anything for you as long as I'm the hero. I helped create the situation and I simply won't do it. And she finds out I'm gay. What does she do? She goes to a conference. She finds an Exodus Ministries anti-gay conference. She goes to a fucking conference
Who would go to
And
that?
I'm
I
like,
mean,
hey, do you want to
would.
talk to me? Do you want to talk to me, Mom? Do you want a relationship with me?
I was at that.
Can you just like call a therapist? Can you call a therapist? I would go to the ends of the earth for you, but no, I can't. Like, that's the thing. This all started in what, 2018, I think was the first time I cut everyone off, or maybe it had been earlier than that. She's had so long where I just keep telling her what, like, the one thing I need her to do, the reason we don't have a relationship, the reason she has no idea what's happening in my life is her fault because she just won't do it. And that to me, like, at some point, Grant, like, sorry, I'm getting heated. At some point, it's like, okay, you've spent years just pushing me away and pushing me off, and you could have a relationship with me, and you don't have to crawl on your knees across the earth. You don't have to kill anyone. You don't have to die for me. Talk to someone to gain tools so that you can talk to me in a more loving way.
Yeah.
And that is the reason I don't believe she loves me. I think she thinks she does.
Yeah.
But the quote unquote care that she shows to me is something I wouldn't show to an acquaintance. I wouldn't treat anyone like she's treating her child. And that's hard.
Yeah.
That, it's hard.
No,
because I really, I feel like I've spent years trying to, the entire time, acknowledging that, like, she's grew up in an emotionally stunted place, and we were raised in an emotionally stunted way, and, like, I know it's difficult, and I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for her. And meanwhile, I'm in therapy for 2 decades. I'm a sex addict. I'm toyed with not being alive, and that doesn't matter to her at all. That, I mean, she'll say it does. Her love is intentional. She doesn't give a fuck about the impact. I think true love is love is through actions, not words. And she has not done anything loving for me in a very long time.
I'm sorry.
Twinnuendo.
But it wasn't my fault. I didn't do it.
It wasn't. You're out. You're out of the pool of blame.
I know that a lot of people listen to Twinnuendo are people who deal with some of the same family difficulties, and I know, Drew, for a long time you carried a lot of guilt and shame that it was your fault, and maybe there are some people that are currently in that, and maybe just, even though we're not providing answers, maybe just hearing that our story and your story in particular will at least help them feel like maybe it's not all my fault. Maybe I'm not a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, I love you, brother. I'm sorry. And
thanks. You should be sorry.
Well, I am.
It is your
Drew,
fault.
can we end with a voicemail and listen to someone else's shit?
Yeah, I'd love to hear someone be sad.
I had such a great episode planned too. This was a great episode. Fun. Yeah, it went exactly as I wanted. All right, here we go. Oh fuck.
Oh fuck.
I shared my screen because I was like, "Oh, we got a voice message," and I completely forgot it was a text. Maybe I am high. I'm gonna read the text.
Oh, sure.
So for anyone who wants to call, leave a voicemail, or send us a question via text, 940-ASK-TWIN. 940-ASK-TWIN. Here we go.
Twin.
Popes. Do you remember we were co-popes for a minute?
That was so
crazy.
fun, but it was too much responsibility.
Oh, and the robes. Popes, I come before thee with a terrible confession. I've been dating a conservative for 2 years.
Laverne Cox, is that you?
We've been having toxic arguments about political issues nonstop, and I'm finally breaking up with him, and it's been rough because he's a good guy otherwise, and the sex is insane. Okay.
He's not a good guy otherwise. If he
It's
believes
so
that.
true what they say about people in a relationship needing to have the same political beliefs. Please absolve me of my sins by I think they meant to say ridding me. Oh, God, this is gay talk. Sorry. By reading me for filth for my stupidity. That's a drag term?
Correct.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I don't deserve your forgiveness, all-powerful Pope Twin, signed Stupid in Massachusetts. And I guess all we can really do is admonish this person.
Yeah,
and
you
just,
suck.
You
You're
suck.
a dumb bitch.
It's fucking stupid.
No, listen, we all
fall short.
We all fall short in the glory of God.
Of the glory of God.
And you know what? I believe, I fully, with my entire being, I believe that any bad decision you make is rooted in trauma and it's your mom's fault. So just know that. But
So-
okay, I do
Yeah.
have to say, dear texter, that
Stupid in Massachusetts. You call him Sim.
sure, in the past, could a conservative and a liberal person like marry? Yeah, sure, because the difference is the world was pretty conservative in general.
Jim,
So
what was his name? Jim Carvel, that Louisiana guy.
Yeah.
He was married to an opposite.
yeah, it was like their whole
party.
thing was
Yeah.
just how like they're political, but they're opposite sides.
And on election
now-
night, we just fuck.
And now it's a moral issue, you know? Like I don't think it's political. I don't think you can say it's political. That's insane. If you're aligning yourself with a party that says gay people are grooming kids and killing Palestinians is fine as long as Israel is happy, like get fucked. That's not political. I don't care. I don't know
Yeah.
policy. I don't care what your economic thoughts are. I just want people to be safe and happy and healthy.
That sounds a little gay, communist comrade.
That's true.
So I have a friend who is married to someone who's very conservative, and they're a very liberal person. And the whole time I've known them, they have fought over politics. However, in recent years, it's become untenable. And they have a family together, and they have children, and they have a
their
whole life
children
together.
are so fucked.
Now it's a real problem. Now, the last 10 years have made it a real fucking problem. And so I don't know. I think that I agree with you. I think that if you were if it was the mid 90s and you were saying, "Oh, I don't want to talk to you because you're going to vote for Bob Dole," that's silly. He was a silly man, and
Yeah.
he held a pen in his hand all the time.
He
That's
held a
funny.
pen.
And he fell off a
He held
train.
a pen.
That's
Yeah,
that's
he did
funny.
fall.
And so if like that seems a little silly to me. However, here we are now, like with what we're dealing with now. Yeah, it does seems like a moral issue.
Evil.
It seems like
Yeah.
how can you look at what is happening in, like what you said, the fucking genocide that we're fucking bankrolling? Or how about the fact that while people are like can't make ends meet, I'm being one of them, the Trump administration just spent $2 billion to stop renewable energy, a wind farm from being built. $2 billion. The fuck are we doing? $2 billion.
Yeah.
We have like kids with fucking cancer, and their parents can't pay their medical bills, but we're paying $2 billion so that Trump's energy friends can put more money in their pockets and they can stop renewable energy. What the fuck are we doing? But like, can we just drop the parties and just be like, this is fucked? And the thing that I always have a problem with is when I talk to anyone who's like a Trump supporter, if there's any criticism, they're like, oh, you think Kamala would have done a better job? The fuck? That's completely irrelevant. Like, number one, yes, I do. But number two, completely irrelevant. Can you just acknowledge that this is bad? Can we just say, this is bad? This is bad?
Yeah.
This is bad. Just say this is bad. That's it.
No, because
And
then they have
it's
to say
bad.
they made a mistake. They're not going to do that.
God doesn't make
know.
mistakes. I guess that means you're not a mistake after all. Or God didn't make you.
I did it. Oh, yeah, I was created by Satan. Fuck. I knew it.
Patrons, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your undying love and support. And we love you. And thank you for all that you do from the bottom of our Christian hearts. Because we're Christians again. I probably should have led with that. Stupid in Massachusetts. You are stupid. Don't be stupid again. Don't do that. Don't do that.
But don't beat
do
yourself
that.
up. You're a good person.
Don't beat yourself up. You're a good person.
You're a good
just
person.
stupid.
You made a mistake.
You're kind of
You made a
funny. It's like a
mistake.
funny stupid.
If Laverne
stupid
Cox
to the heart.
can do it, so can you.
Oh God, Laverne, what are you doing? Do you have any do you have like a high note we can go out on? I feel like we just went like, ooh.
Yeah. Well,